Thank you for joining us for this 15-minute franchisee interview. I have my dear friend Pilar here with me. Pilar, if you would please tell our viewers where you are franchising with Right at Home and how long you have been a franchise owner.
Jen, this is a real pleasure to be here with you. And I am located here in Rhome, Texas. It's a tiny town, northwest area from Dallas. I've been in business with Right at Home for almost 9 years now. And well, just enjoying, my whole journey here in Texas.
Okay, so tell me about your journey leading up to franchise ownership with Right at Home. So how did you even come to know about the Right at Home franchise opportunity?
Well, you see, when we first started thinking of doing all this, starting with our own business 10 years ago, we were still living in Colombia. I'm from Bogota, Colombia in South America, and I was working in a telecommunications company when I first met my husband 20 years ago. So we uh, we uh, we always had, in the back of our minds, we were always thinking that we wanted to give our kids the chance to grow up in another, somewhere else, to open their horizons and see different cultures. And since my parents, did kind of the same with me, I came to United States when I was a teenager, and while I was going to Colorado State University, I had the chance to work as a caregiver. So I had, kind of that part of the knowledge from back then. And when we first decided that we wanted to do something here in America with my husband, we, through our attorney, we had the chance to meet with Stephen Maker. He works with Frank Choice, and he, analyzed our profiles, our background, and he was the one that first suggested some kind of, businesses that we could utilize to be able to come to America and start our new lives in here. So because of my small, experience while I was working as a caregiver here 35 years ago, and my business administration background, we chose, out of the three businesses that he presented to us, we chose Right at Home. Why? Because, the territory that was offered to us was amazing. My family, my parents were really already living here in Texas. So it was kind of a great choice for us. And like I said, I have the experience of being close to the elderly back in my younger years. So it was always there. I had, when we first started talking, I was like, oh my God, this makes sense. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do this with Right at Home.
Okay, got it. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the E2 visa process that you went through to eventually come here to the United States to become an entrepreneur, and how important that was in your journey and getting here and becoming a business owner here in the United States. We are an E2 visa friendly business. We have had several owners who have joined Right at Home via an E2 visa. Can you talk a little bit about what that process was like, obtaining an E2 visa to come here to the United States to become a business owner?
Of course, yeah, Jen. Well, that's I was, pretty impressed with you guys because there's not a lot of companies or franchise companies that actually offers the process of going through an E2 visa, because that's kind of a different process, and it can be a little bit longer than just, any other regular person that is investing on starting a new business with you guys. But you guys were always supportive on the E2 visa process with us. And that was really, one of the main reasons that we decided to go with you guys. We had all the support. I know countries have different agreements, with the United States as far as going through the E2 visa process. So you were pretty patient with us, and
Sure.
you walked us through the whole process of, all the requirements we need to have to be able to apply for the E2 visa. So that was a really great opportunity and great, the great support we received from the system, from you guys in corporate, to be able to go through the whole E2 visa process.
Okay, got it. All right. So you have been a franchise owner for a few years now. Tell me a little bit about how your day-to-day as a franchise owner has changed from when you first started as a franchise owner, fast forward to today. So describe the difference between when you first started and now. What does the difference look like?
Yeah, well, it's a huge difference, of course. When you first start your own business, you have to wear many hats. So I was, doing all the operational part. I was doing billing, payroll. I was doing all the hiring, recruiting, hiring, training, everything. I was doing that while I had my business partner, which was my brother-in-law back then. He was doing all the marketing. He was, meeting with all the referral sources, putting our name out there. I've been in business, like I said, almost 9 years now, and I've been able to just grow in my office staff team as well. I have an amazing 7 group of people working with me. So what I did actually was I tried to choose people that was already working with me as caregivers, going to clients. I could tell, some of them had amazing skills that I wanted to utilize here with us as office staff. So I promoted some of my caregivers. We've been giving them training also to just grew in the company and become office staff with us. So now I have my HR manager, care manager, 2 of my outreach specialists. All of them were caregivers at some point with me, and now they're working with us here in the company. So that had made a huge change for us because I wouldn't be able to do what we're doing without the amazing office staff that I have right now.
Okay, got it. So I wrote down a few notes here and I just want to summarize what you just said and basically have me the kind of putting together in a few simple sentences what you just said. Sounds to me like when you first started, you were really working in the business. You learned how to do everything. Not that you were doing everything, although maybe it felt like there were days that you were, but you were working a lot in the business, learning the business, all the facets of the business, eventually getting to a point where promoting people, training more people, hiring more people, more support staff, which allowed you to kind of transition to this point that you are in now, where you're working on the business versus in the business. Is that an accurate summary? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So,
yeah.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the support that you receive from Right at Home. If you could choose maybe just the top or the top 2 or 3 things about Right at Home as far as the support that the franchisor provides to you as a franchise owner, what's the most helpful piece of that, or the biggest thing that you feel is most supportive from your franchise owner, from the franchisor that you receive as a franchise owner?
I would say there's a few things, having my quarterly calls with my coach, that has been amazing with me, the whole support from my coach for the past, I don't know, 6 years, that is really helpful for us, as well as joining the performance groups. So performance group makes us accountable of everything. And not only that, you can also, meet with peers that are doing exactly the same, that going through the same maybe issues that you've gone through, and can, help with developing different ideas or finding new answers for the things that you might be doing maybe wrong, and or maybe you have to do different. So performance group, I would say performance group, our quarterly calls with our coach, both things provided, coming from you guys have been amazing. And let me tell you one thing, Jen, it's a completely different thing to start a business from scratch than start, with the support of a system like the one that we have with Right at Home. I just wanted to clarify that, because it has been really important for me, especially coming from another country. So that has been amazing.
Okay, great. I love it. So for those that are listening, joining a performance group, we love when franchise owners join performance groups. You have to be an owner for at least a year in order to join a performance group. And there's a reason for that. When you join a performance group, you're joining a whole bunch of other owners. Well, a whole bunch meaning anywhere from maybe 6 to 10 franchise owners in performance groups. They don't really get much bigger than that. But you do join a performance group and you are held accountable, just like all of the other franchise owners in a performance group, where you come equipped with your most recent P&L. We want to see some financial data that you share with other franchise owners, and it's all out there. And it's just so wonderful to see franchise owners working with each other on some of those best practices to kind of move the needle when you put together a plan for your business. So we love performance groups, and that's a very common answer that we hear, Pilar, from people who do these interviews, that the ongoing support from their coach and the coaching calls means the absolute world to them. And franchise owners who are incredibly engaged with the franchisor and stay in constant communication and contact with the coaching staff. And we have so many subject matter experts here to help our franchise owners in multiple areas of the business, but definitely the coaching calls are high on the list. Okay, so to kind of wrap things up here, if you could give one piece of advice to somebody watching this video who is thinking about joining the Right at Home system. So if you could go back to the beginning and maybe change one thing, what's that piece of advice that you would give somebody who's just getting ready to join the Right at Home business, or perhaps somebody who just joined the Right at Home system?
I would say always, it's always research, investigate the territory that you're going to be working on, get all the demographics, census, everything, all the numbers are really, really important. But I wouldn't focus only on the financial benefits that you're going to get, because I'm sure you're going to be successful. I can tell you that. But do it because you want to make a difference. Do it because you want to give back to others. So that's a thing that makes all the stressful days, and because you're going to have stressful days anyways.
Yeah.
As a business owner, we all know that. That's not a secret. But always, I would, remind myself of, okay, so what's the big goal? Why am I doing this? So because I want to make a big difference in others, because I want to give back some of what I received. And I received a lot from you guys, from United States, because we are very happy living here, and I'm very blessed of being here. So that's one thing that I would remember, that I would tell people to remember all the time. What makes you happy? So try to look for that. What makes you happy? If what makes you happy is giving to others, well, remember that all the time. Remember that.
Okay, wonderful. That's wonderful, wonderful advice. I wish I could package that and tell everyone that, but wonderful advice. Thank you so much for doing this 15-minute franchisee interview. I appreciate you taking the time to do this. And I know people watching this appreciate you as well. So thank you for taking the time.
Thank you, Jen. It's been a pleasure.
Yes, have a great day.